What's up, YouTube? This is James coming back at you with another informative video. I hope you guys are doing well out there on the other side of midnight, heading into Tuesday morning. I'm doing fairly well myself. I come across this particular story about Travis McMichael, the murderer of Ahmaud Arbery, at least one of them. He's the direct one, though. He pulled the trigger, Turns out that this little pink motherfucker, is crying about going to a Georgia prison. He said it would be a backdoor death sentence, but the judge disagreed with his punk ass, and so do I. I hope that's exactly what your bitch ass get, is a death sentence, just like you did to Ahmaud Arbery. Serves you well, as far as I'm concerned. Very fucking well. I put these two pictures up here, the before and after, the murder of Ahmaud Arbery. Okay, the before here is when he actually murdered Ahmaud Arbery. As you can see, he was a bit thicker, you understand? But since he's been through this whole ordeal that he put himself in by taking an innocent man's life, now his bitch ass is a whole lot significantly thinner, you see? And good for you, I hope they drop your ass off in a prison, that you fear, that you said that you getting at least hundreds of thousands or whatever, thousands of threats on your life. I hope that they put your ass directly in the heat of a prison where people want to kill your ass, because you deserve it. Now you get to see how Ahmaud Arbery felt, Now, I got a video right here. Let's check it out, and then we'll get into some more commentary.
One of the three white men convicted of murdering Ahmaud Arbery, Travis McMichael, he received a second life sentence just moments ago over federal hate crime charges.
McMichael, his father Greg, and William Roddy Bryan were found guilty in February of interference with rights, which is a federal hate crime, and attempted kidnapping in connection to the killing of 25-year-old black man Ahmaud Arbery. NBC News correspondent Ron Allen is following the latest outside the courthouse in Brunswick, Georgia. Look, Ron, you've been there since this event happened. You were following this trial. Explain how the sentences today are different from the previous life sentences the men received just earlier this year.
The difference is that this is a federal conviction, a federal sentencing, and they are already serving time, life in prison, in a state court. And what was unusual about this hearing today was that it was mostly about where they would serve these life sentences as opposed to how long the sentences would be. The defense was arguing strenuously that going to state prison, that being in state prison for these two defendants, for the McMichaels and for William Bryan for that matter, for all three of them, but we expect the argument to come later this afternoon, is that it's dangerous for them. It's life-threatening. Travis McMichael's attorney said that him going to state prison was the equivalent of what she called a backdoor death penalty for him because there's so much hatred. She said there have been hundreds, thousands of threats directed against McMichael in state prison, and that if he goes there, he probably won't survive. For their part, the government said essentially that these defendants deserve no special treatment, regardless of who they are and regardless of what's happened. They should go to state prison, and the law says that the first entity to convict, in this case the state of Georgia, is where the prisoner serves their time. Ahmaud Arbery's family certainly wanted them to stay in state prison. They didn't want the defendants to be able to pick where they could go and be in the prison system of their choosing. Again, the basic difference is that the federal system is thought to be safer, more comfortable, that's an appropriate word, than the state prison system. So that's what a lot of this argument was about today, and we expect more of that when we hear the sentencing hearing of Gregory McMichael this afternoon, and then William Roddy Bryant, the third man, later this afternoon as well.
So, Ron, despite the federal conviction, he will remain in state prison. Clarify that. And also, has the Arbery family, Ahmaud's family, have they reacted yet to this new sentence?
They haven't reacted yet. We expect to hear from them shortly. They're outside the courtroom now, taking a break between hearings. It's a grueling and very emotional day for them. Again, this case has been such a powerful case, such an emotional case for the family, for this community, for the country, for that matter, as well. To clarify, they are serving time. McMichaels and William Bryan are serving time in state prison now, a life sentence. That's what they get. Bryan has the possibility of parole after a number of decades. Unlikely he will ever be paroled, however. That's the distinction. That's where they are now in state prison. They were trying to he moved to federal prison, the judge sentenced him to life in federal prison, then refused to make the switch, which is what the defendants wanted and what the family did not want. So again, the Arbery family is getting what they want out of this process. They're getting justice, I think they would say, but of course none of this brings their son back.
You know, Ron, you've covered this community, not just the trial, but the community since it happened. And you watch the reaction. You watch people's heartbreak. You see, Black community leaders. We just saw an image there of Reverend Jesse Jackson coming in. And you talked about sort of the tremors of fear and injustice that this community felt. Does this sentence make any difference for them, for the people who are watching this trial there in Georgia?
We'll have to ask people what they think about that. I don't think that this sentence of life in prison was a big surprise. I think most people expected it, frankly, and I think most people feel like it's appropriate. And I think also that it's going to take some time for this community to get past all this,
right.
Because it still sears very much in the consciousness of this community.
All right, NBC's Ron Allen for us there, Brunswick, Georgia. Ron, thank you.
In the words of the late great brother Johnny Guitar Watson, ain't that a bitch? Yes, definitely a fucking bitch. Simply because this motherfucker right here, killed his man, was looking for a backdoor lynching, other words to where it don't get out what they did. And that sorry ass prosecutor, she tried to cover it up. It wasn't for like 2 to 3 months that this shit actually made press, and they got investigated. And he's crying about where he's doing his time so he don't get hurt. Motherfucker, you deserve any and every kind of dangerous punishment coming to your bitch ass. You understand? You, your father, and that bitch ass motherfucker who filmed it. Well, we can thank his dumb ass just as well. But, yeah, you motherfuckers deserve the torture that you are living in. And I can tell your bitch ass is internally tortured. You understand? Because you lost a lot of weight. And when they get your ass in that damn, prison, them motherfuckers gonna beat your ass. They gonna find you, motherfucker. They gonna find your funky ass stiff and stinking. You watch and see. And you deserve it. You deserve it because you had no business running that young man down with guns, you understand, and then shooting him. He was minding his business. See? And now your punk ass worried about your life. Serve you right. Serve you right. So I'm glad that, at least it appears that the judicial system is complimenting the family of Ahmaud Arbery, by doing things according to their wishes, by dropping this motherfucker right here in a state prison instead of federal prison. You see, you ain't going to fucking club med, motherfucker, club fed, whatever you want to call it, somewhere where you can just do your time till you die. Nah, motherfucker, you finna do hard time. Hard time. So I hope they, pretty much keep us posted how your ass be looking. You know what I'm saying? So we can do some more before and afters, and I'll just pick up from this particular picture, and then we see your ass, you looking like you on meth or some shit the next time. Who knows? I want you guys to tell me what you think about this particular story right here. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts, views, and opinions on it. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. People, please remember to live your life as though we are being watched. Simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.